Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Plan and Traffic. We do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. We talk about cars, boats, trucks, or anything you put gas in. We got our special guests here tonight. We got Ray from Motormouth Radio. What's up, Ray?
Lewis, pleasure to be back again. Always fun.
And we got Arco from Outlaw Edge. What's up, Arco?
How you guys doing, man? Awesome to be
man. Yeah, we're blessed. We're blessed. So, Arco, I'm gonna let you introduce the guest because he's one of your people.
My crony. So this is Brian Andrews from it'd be England, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's from England, and it's Oak Swamp. If you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, it's Oak Swamp on YouTube. Go check his channel out. He builds he does some amazing fabrication, hand built cars, and he takes a bunch of junk and he doesn't just build rat rods or nothing like that. He builds hand built cars that are just absolutely badass. If you guys go to his channel and check it out, I promise you won't be disappointed. And I've been telling him in this for a while that, his channel is amazing and the proof's in the pudding. I was looking at his views and I was looking at his channel and, just a while back checking his channel out, and he's already jumped way up in the YouTube subscribers and all that. So go check him out, Oak Swamp on YouTube.
How did you guys find each other, Arco?
I'm always looking for like hand-built cars or homemade cars or whatever on YouTube and all over the internet and whatever. And I ran into his channel by accident. And Heidi and I were checking his cars and stuff out. And we literally binge watched, like, I think we watched every video one night of his stuff. And it's cool because when you watch people's stuff, you get more ideas. And then you end up spending 3 days out in the shop, building some other stuff. So
Right.
Huge inspiration. The guy's awesome, man.
Yeah. That's one of the best things about YouTube. You can really get a lot of information and inspiration and, help you go the right direction or just stop you from going the wrong direction. If you find the right channels, it's amazing what's out there. I'm always finding new stuff.
There's some absolutely radical fabricators on YouTube. Like, I don't know how some of these guys don't have TV shows, some of the stuff that I've seen them come up with. I mean, even his new car that he's building right now. What do you call that one?
It's the Shrew. Le Shrew.
Le Shrew, yeah. And that one's. And what was your green car? Your first one that I was looking at?
That was the Rat.
The Rat, yeah. Oh man, that car was radical. And he's got videos on his channel, and the way he edits his stuff is really good. He puts his friends' music in there and stuff, and then him going to the swap meets. Different adventures that he goes on, and you guys start watching his channel, you guys will get hooked. And what do you have for subscribers right now?
About 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000. And it was like a couple months ago. You were you just started out. It seemed like,
Well,
and,
I've been kicking it for a while now. You know what I mean? It's good fun though. I like it. Keep going forward. Try and get to the end.
Yeah, right. So everybody in the chat, here's his YouTube channel, so you can write it down or go subscribe to him. I was binge watching, like you said, Arco, the other day. I was like, oh man, this dude's hooking some stuff up.
Yeah, amazing fabricator.
Yeah.
And he's fun. He's fun to watch. He's hilarious, and his friends are nut jobs, just like all of us. I mean, that's one of the things is, Lewis, you said this. I've heard you say it before, and then Terry and a couple other guys on YouTube is, you could ask, 15 of your friends right in your own neighborhood. You're like, hey, bro, can you come over, give me a hand on my car? Can you help me on my bus? Can you help me on whatever? And those people will not show up and help you. But you could call, 3 or 4 of your good friends around the world, and those guys will drive, 32 hours to get to your shop to work on it for a week, to help you out on your project. And that camaraderie and brotherhood on YouTube there's nothing like it,
Yeah,
I found the people who are watching as well. I mean, people have given me stuff all the time. The car I'm doing at the moment, someone gave me the frame and someone gave me the motor. It's a little Crosley motor. You guys must remember a Crosley from the 50s. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Little tiny 700cc engine, 44 cubic inch. But these dudes just give it to me, and it's like it's brilliant, and it kind of predicts builds. It sort of, they give me something and then I build it, with the bits I have around me,
Yeah. Right.
And like right now, I mean, I reached out to a bunch of friends tonight, and like, you know, Rat Rod, Whiskey Dance, Edge of Eternity, Bill Cameron, Classic Car Revivals, David, there's John, Show Car Builder, all these guys that are in the comments right now, that I'm looking at in the chat and whatever, they're all amazing fabricators and whatever. And everybody, it's really cool because you always see different styles on YouTube that everybody has. And I love that. You know, you get to meet the person, then you're like, you know, what's this guy building? You get to see their style in their cars.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And your style is honest, bro. I'm not trying to kiss your ass or nothing, but it's top notch, man. I love it.
I'm blagging it. Honestly, I'm blagging it. I've got no experience of it's just make it up as I go along. But I can see it. I can see what I'm going to build. So the journey is just making it along the way and get it, because I know I can get it to where it's going to be. And I'm relentless.
What got you into cars when you were younger or whatever? What started you in cars?
Well, I did when I was like 17. Car broke down, took the engine out just because I had no money. So you started there and motorbikes. And then when I got to about 23, I wanted to build a hot rod. And I started and I finished it, drag raced it and all that sort of stuff. Built a Harley and that sort of thing. And then I stepped away from it for a long while.
What kind of car was that hot rod, Brian?
It was a Austin 7 Ruby.
Yeah.
It had you'll know it as a Buick. What are they? 215 cubic inch Buick.
Aluminum.
Oh, yeah. But we had them in a lot of cars in Britain. Rover V8. But it would run a 12-second quarter.
Yeah.
But it was all Austin parts and stuff. I prefer to build stuff that people, you know, everyone is building 32s. That's what I liked about what your Roadster Arco. It wasn't a 32, it wasn't a 27T. I prefer the stuff that's a bit different because it's got a different look, hasn't it? I mean, a lot of people don't see it, they don't appreciate it.
You know, and I've through my lifetime, I've built a lot of beautiful show cars, and they've never done nothing to me. But the vintage hot rods that I've built, and then my Roadster, it's funny because like I could take show cars to the shows, and win trophies and whatever. I'm not bragging like that, but like you take those show cars, and it's like cool, they're fun, whatever. You take them back home, but you're nervous. You're trying to protect them. You're trying to make sure people aren't leaning on them or whatever. But the most fun and the most crowds are the ones that get around the vintage hot rods and the rats and whatever. And it's funny, like our Roadster, it doesn't matter where you go in that car, man. Somebody's crawling all over inside of it. And the kids always come up to it, and the mom and dad's like, hey, don't touch, whatever. I'm like, no, heck no. Put that kid inside that car because you're going to give that kid a memory he will never forget. And that's actually what happened with me with Gene Winfield. That's how I met Gene Winfield when I was a young kid, you know. And he's talking to me about his chopped Merc that he built and everything, and we're sitting there talking and whatever, and he opens the door and he goes, hop in, you know. And I was like, what? And he let me sit in the car and check it out. And, you know, as a kid, I'm like, oh man, I was blown away, you know.
Never forget it.
You never forget that. So it's and then once that happens, it's in your blood, you know. You eat, sleep, and build cars all night, every night, you know.
Yeah.
What was your, like, you know, when you're about sort of 10 years old, the cars around, what car stands in your mind? You know, those old Fad T's and all that sort of stuff.
And it's funny because I was in Stockton, California. That's where I was born and raised. And there was a lot of hot rods and whatever. But, you know, I love the lowriders. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love them. But the customs, when I got to meet Gene Winfield and Barris, Larry Watson, Gator, all those guys, when I started to hang around with those guys at the car shows, I would walk up and look at the metalwork when some of those cars were in bare metal at the car shows. And I was in awe. I was like, wow, how did they do that? And how did you lean that windshield back? And I'd ask them a bazillion questions. They were like, get out of here, kid. You know, most of them. But the ones that took you under your wing was like Gene Winfield, the guys that were the sweethearts, you know. They would say, hey, you know, we cut it right here and we did this and that. So the customs were a huge thing in my life, where as a kid, I started, you know, building customs. I was always into drag racing. I've drag raced all my life or whatever, boats, cars, you know, whatever. But I was always into custom motorcycles and stuff. But I would say the full custom cars, the ones that just, you know, You know, you could take a 57 Chevy and drive it to the gas station, and you're gonna have, you know, a couple people say, "Hey, nice car," or whatever. But when you come rolling up into something that's at the gas station or a car show or whatever that nobody's ever seen, that's when crowds come over, and it's fun to me. It's all about the kids, our future. You know, seeing the little kids come over and check out the car, or whatever. That's what thrills me, you know.
When I was about 10, right, 70s, you know, all we had was like British cars jacked right up with Jaguar axles, IRSs with red lights on them, all Fad T's. That's it. We had no history before that because there was no hot rodding really before the 70s in Britain, not in any sort of big amount. But what we had was specials, and this is kind of like what I'm building. They would get an old British car and their shoehorn an airplane engine into it. And that's the sort of shows I go to. They're all these old boys with Curtis V8s with no brakes and stuff. And it is fantastic, man. I mean, if you ever get on my channel, have a look at the one on Prescott Hill Climb. I mean, these stuff is all chain drive and all. It's nuts. And it's all old boys, and they're all covered in grease, like flying up the hill, you know. And it's sort of a British version of drag racing, really. You know,
hill climbs are no joke. I mean, we have them. We've done them here too. That's no joke.
Yeah.
You know, you can get really hurt really fast.
Yeah.
You know, especially like back in the 70s, guys were doing it on modified Harleys. You know, an extended swing arm on a 750 XL Harley, and you know, and they're hill climbing with it. It's like, man, you know, scary.
Well, Evil Knievel was jumping buses on a Harley, wasn't he?
Yeah, Sportster.
Yeah.
He couldn't have picked a worse bike, really, could he?
You know, no, but he made it work. You know, made it work. Yeah.
But you look at nowadays, you look at like what people are doing on like these Harley Dynas and full dress Road Kings and all this stuff. I mean, they're doing wheelies and burnouts and just donuts and everything. It's nuts, you know.
You know, back then, what I know about Evil Knievel and idolizing him growing up as a kid, he was all American, so I don't think, you know, Harley, I'm sure, gave him a sponsorship. I don't think he would have taken a Japanese sponsorship. I don't even think he would have considered it, you know.
Yeah.
Just that kind of guy.
Speaking of bikes,
on a Jap bike ain't happening.
Speaking of bikes, I'm going to show you one I just picked up.
Ah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that thing's beautiful.
Oh, nice. Wow, yeah.
Beast.
That's sweet.
Yamaha Venture.
That's would you named it Darth Vader?
No, another guy has it already.
Oh, yeah?
Wow. Now, what made you do that, Louis?
The wife made me do it.
Peach is jealous.
Yeah, Peach is mad at me right now because she's sitting right next door.
Nice.
It came across at a good price, man. I had to jump on it.
Okay. Hey, that's when the deal presents itself. Yeah, you got to do it.
One of those deals. I was looking at some Harleys, but they were beat up pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
my next. Oh, sorry.
So now I have the 1987 Venture and the 2018 Venture.
That's that orange one, the orange one that you had.
Yep.
Yeah. You still ride motorcycles, Brian?
No, I stopped. I'd never dropped one, and I said to myself, I was about 40, and I said, no more.
The rule is either you know.
I'm getting slower, man. You know.
It's either you have or you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone, all my mates, they've all done their knees and shins, and you know, what I mean, hurt themselves, and I can live without it. You know, I built a Harley a few years back, about probably 15, 20 years ago, and it was so uninspiring. You know, and I sold it and bought a Hayabusa. That was much. That was much more inspiring.
That's inspiring.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
See, my wife won't let me get one, man. I want one bad. Believe me.
You don't need coffee
weapons,
after that.
man.
I wouldn't even have a driver's license after that.
I know.
I'd be in jail, man.
After coming off the Harley, I'm riding this thing home, and I've not ridden like a sports bike.
Oh,
And I'm doing Harley revs on it, so I'm sort of
Oh,
doing
yeah.
4.5. And I thought, oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
And then I took it through the 4,500, and it turned into a mental.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything like it. I had to sell it after about a year of having it because I know a cop, and he said to me, "You're either going to die or end up inside."
Yeah, I look at it like that would be just like having like a giant bag of meth in my garage, you know, really, because that's how sick it would be.
Yeah, it's bad.
I do have one bike left. You know the little Honda, the little C90.
Oh, C90, yeah, very popular.
Yeah, chicken. We call them chicken chasers. That's what we call it,
Yes.
chicken chaser. All the kids used to ride them up the woods when you were young.
Yeah.
But I've got one of them, and I've extended the frame, and I put leaf springs on it, and you sit like a mad thing on it.
Yeah.
I should finish it really, but you know.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So you were talking. I'm sorry. You were talking about the Austin Sevens, right?
Yeah.
And there must be like a bazillion of those there because I noticed they're all over the place back there.
In Britain, like if you're into vintage cars, the starter car is an Austin 7. They're cheap. There's loads of them. It's like a T, you know. There was hundreds and thousands of them made, and there's still loads about. But they did a 7, an 8, a 10, a 12, a 14, a 16. So there's as they get bigger, they get rarer. I got quite a few cars. They're all 10s and 12s and 8s. You know.
Now, what does that number relate to? The 7,
Horsepower.
8, 10?
Horsepower.
Okay.
It's a viscal horsepower. It's not the actual engine's horsepower.
I hope that's a factor of like, you know, times 100 or something.
Yeah, I don't know quite how they do, but even an Austin 7, I think the latest one was about 23 horsepower.
Hey.
Yeah, it's flying. Wow. The little Crosley I talked about, that is 26.5 horsepower.
Wow.
Stonking.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it in the car, and so I get to midships, and I'm putting an axle in and taking it out, and then putting sprockets on, and then I'm going off and using chain drive to go to the back wheels. That's going to be. It's not really. I'm not really building it for the sake of building a car that's going to be really cool to drive. It's more of a piece, a painting, if you like. And the grinder's my paintbrush. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I guess the thing that we forget is what you pay for petrol over there compared
you wouldn't believe, man.
Yeah. How
You
bad?
wouldn't believe what we pay for everything.
Really?
I've been to the States a couple of times, and it's like you go to the pizza place, and it's like they're giving you it. You know, and the fuel is how much is a gallon of fuel in the States right now?
I think the national average is right around $3.
Yeah, $3.
Yeah.
Free. It's £1.90 a litre.
Which means,
and I think you've got 4.5 litres to your gallon. The US gallon's 4.5 litres.
I thought a liter was just a little over a gallon. I remember
when we was little over a pint.
I was lost.
A liter's just a little bit more than a pint.
Okay.
Wow.
So you're 4.5 times.
That's about right.
9 quid a gallon, $9 a gallon, probably $10 a gallon.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it'd be like going to Alaska, because I guess like in Alaska and in California that it's like $8 or $9 a gallon, you know?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Venezuela, they give it away, don't they? They give it. There's no value to fuel in Venezuela.
Oh yeah.
They just give it away. It's free because they've got loads of it, but they've got sanctions so much they can't sell it.
Right. Yeah.
Imagine that. I'd have a big block if I lived in Venezuela. In everything I owned.
Right.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, you're in England, correct?
Yeah.
So how's the car? See, here we had a car culture for every type of cars, like for rat rods, muscle cars, lowriders. How is it over there? You know, because
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. I think what I'm doing is breaching between the vintage car scene in Britain. You know what I was saying about the specials and that. But when you build like a hot rod, you got artistic license. You can make it a bit funkier and get away with it. You can add parts that aren't supposed to be there. There's not so many rules as the vintage, and so catching in between that is kind of where I'm at. Skinny wheels, little engines, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not joking about the little engines. If you watch some of his videos, it cracks me up. One of the videos I was watching the other night, I think it's your newest video. He was like, "Oh, I need to move the motor forward a little bit," and he cuts the mounts off because he just had them tack welded in there. And he picks up the motor, moves it forward, sits it down, and starts welding back in. I'm like cracking up. I'm like, man, you could like carry that thing in your shop, sit it in your car. Oh, I blew up my motor. I'm just going to take it back out and throw another one in there. You know, it's like little tiny Crosby motor. It's just, it looks like a lawnmower engine or something, you know?
Yeah.
The one before the Rat I built with the other Austin, it had a Reliant engine in. You know, the little freewheeler cars with the little wheels that fall over, you know?
Yeah.
They have a 850cc engine, and I ported it, lightened and balanced it, and yeah, no, they're good little engines. About 60 horse.
Mm-hmm.
One of the cars that if I could have a car back today, one of my cars, I want to say it's like a 59 or something like that. It was a little Peugeot with little 12-inch gangster white walls. Look at that truck right there. That thing cracked me up too. I was like, damn, man. Yeah.
See this dude, right? I was just driving up the shop to get some money, and I saw him, and I thought I'll go and chase him. So I was in my Austin 12.
He's going the wrong way though.
Yeah, but he came back. If you go right to the end, he comes back. But this is the little car. What I'm doing at the moment, you'd have to move on a bit.
All right.
This car here is a Lee Francis body, a 1929 Lee Francis body, and Austin 12 frame, and an Isuzu engine, of all things.
Yeah, you can tell it's kind of damp over there. Everything's got mold on it. A wood saw?
I know. I was rolling when I thought
this is a saloon body. I'm cutting a saloon body scuttle down.
Yeah, that's a cool edit. That's good.
This is a single seater.
Wow.
But I've got to mount the steering up there, so I need some grunt up there.
For the amount of water you guys have, that's a pretty good looking hunk of metal. I mean, that's not. We have a lot worse over here.
The frames, all the frames I have, I haven't welded any of them. Only when I order them. But you know.
You have a lot of are you by the coast or no? Because there's a lot of rust.
Yeah.
Okay.
We own some woods which is in front of where I am there, and it finishes at the sea.
Oh,
you
okay.
Got a beach down bottom. It's a bit industrial, but we like it. It's cool. It's a nice place to live.
You can see his car in the background in the garage there.
Yeah.
There's this little one I'm building. There's a truck on the left. You might see it. That truck.
Oh yeah.
That truck. That's the first cuts, but I slanted it back. Look, you see where I reversed the chassis there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a motor.
Yeah,
it's a little Crosley.
Nice.
And that's gonna have a 4-speed in it, no?
Sorry?
It'll have a 4-speed transmission?
No, it's got a 3-speed.
Oh, 3-speed, okay.
3-speed crash box.
Wow.
I've got a Reliant 4-speed, but I'm reluctant. I kind of like the idea of having a crash box and 3-speed. I don't want it to be easy to drive.
Right. Well,
this one here, you see the other one, I put the throttle in the middle.
Yeah.
So the brake's on the right, the throttle's in the middle, and the clutch is on the left, because that's how the old cars used to be in Britain. And, well, everywhere. I think they were in the States as well.
That's narrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this one will be a top down one seater, like your green car, but your green car it was a two seater.
Okay, I know the amount of work that gets done there, and I'm in awe. But it makes your shop look like Chip Foose.
It's
No?
tiny little garage, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started this with no funds at all, and I'm just cruising along. I'm just doing it because it's better than doing anything else for me at the moment.
Yeah.
And
I
you
wanted
don't
to do,
go ahead.
there was a time in my life I've wanted to play music. I played everywhere with I played double bass, you know, the big upright, playing rockabilly and bluegrass, all that stuff. I
Nice.
wanted to do all of that. I did all of that, and now I want to do this, you know, because the videos for me are as much of the build as the build is, if you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does an awesome job editing his videos too. So
Yeah.
you'll enjoy his channel. You don't have any heat in your garage, do you?
Nah,
Doesn't look like it.
this is like about 7.5 foot wide, that garage.
Wow.
Yeah.
By about 16 foot long.
You just saw the heat arc when the door opened and the sun came in. There's the heat.
Yeah, the sun. Today it was sunny, and I was out there loving it.
Yeah.
Because the sun shines through and it warms it right up. It's all right. It's not as cold as what you got, Arco, man.
No.
Yeah, Arco's in the people shouldn't be there where Arco's at.
I was feeling bad for us on the East Coast, but yeah, they got it worse.
Oh man, and having a convertible, a roadster like ours that we drive around, it's funny because when it rains or gets cold or whatever, and then it starts getting really cold on the way home. Oh, I can tell you some stories. One time we pulled into a gas station, it's pouring so hard, and my car is just flooding inside the car as we're driving. And we stop at the gas station, and some old man's like yelling, "Hey, there's something leaking out of your car." And I said, "That's water. It's coming out of the inside of the car, man." We were getting hammered, and we just hauled ass home. It was crazy. I'm driving with like bandanas and sunglasses and freezing.
What's that seat out of, Brian? That's a cool seat.
It's out of the car. It's an Austin Big 7. I really like the seat, and I've got it leaned right back so it holds you in.
Oh man, look at that! Oh jeez,
dude, I would love to drive that around town.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
great.
Hey, what's your buddy's name that does the interior? He did for the Leaf or whatever.
Oh, the Tonne. The Tonne.
Yeah.
Jim. Yeah,
he did a nice job on that. He did a really nice job.
There's the missus.
Yeah, she's so cute.
How much would it cost to have one of those cars shipped over here?
It used to be to get it to here. It was $1,200. $1,200. £1,200. So that is probably $1,500 back then.
Ah.
Yeah, that ain't too bad.
It's not bad at all.
What you do is you get a container and you take loads of shit back. That's what people do from the States here.
Right.
There's people taking frames back with Novas and split screen campers and anything, because you get the dry states, it's all still good, isn't it? I mean, everything you take back from here will be rusty.
Hey, so there's Midnight Customs. Brandon just showed up right here too, and I'm gonna try to get him on the show. And then I was talking to Vino Ratrod earlier, and I'd like to get them on the show one of these nights too. But Midnight Customs and Vino Ratrod, like I was saying, if you guys get a chance, check these guys' YouTube channels out, sub their channels, go check out their channels and watch their videos and support them too, because they got some good stuff, man. Awesome fabricators, you know.
Yeah, everybody is in the chat. If you put your information in the comments, so everybody can go check you out.
Where's Paul Lyons tonight? He was supposed to be here.
He is. He was here. Yeah, he's here. So listen, it is 9:30, so we're gonna get all the fellas in. Brian, what we do is we let our community that hangs out with us every week come on, and they'll ask you some questions. You know, it's like we're gonna be hanging out in the garage.
Yeah, cool. Sounds
And then
good
we
to me,
usually all start talking and throw Lewis out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kick you out. All right. What's up, fellas?
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Good,
Lewis.
good.
What's your lads?
So what do you guys think of Bill's stuff over there? Or
That's
Brian's
awesome.
Sorry.
Awesome
Put a turbo
stuff.
on that Lucci motor and throw it in there. Pull that Crosley motor out.
Yeah, throw high boost in. There you go.
They're doing. I've seen that done a few times with some minis and some Cooper S's and stuff, which I think is rather cool.
A Crosley motor in the UK is unheard of. I've never ever seen one before. So like I was saying to these guys, someone gave me it. I'd never heard of one. Never heard of the car or anything because you wouldn't. They didn't export them. I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the new car that you just got? Is that Crosley, the one that your friend gave you?
The Austin 7.
That's Austin 7, that 4-door that you showed in your
The 4-door.
Yeah, the newest video when you were talking about it and it didn't have doors on it. And you guys,
That's an Austin 8.
okay.
I'm gonna put a V8 in that.
Yeah, that car's really cool. I love how the hood opened up with the
With
chrome
the
piece.
twist and the pull. Yeah, they're cool.
That's nice.
The trouble with those cars that they've got they were in the crossover between chassis and monocoque, so they had a floor pan and then little bits of chassis poking out, and they rot out. So I just cut all the floor out and put a new frame in, put a V8 in it, and go drag racing.
So you'll just build a new frame for that car though.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Just use it as a shell over the top.
Yeah, that's gonna be a sweet car too. I like the look of it. You know.
I've got a few in front of it though.
Yeah.
I've got them lined up in the woods.
Oh, trust me, I got projects too.
Yeah.
Are you guys all building cars, are you?
Kind of.
No.
Come on, Paul. That
Yeah.
Paul's
How close to Nottingham are you?
Say again, Paul.
How close to Nottingham is Brian?
Oh, I'm quite away.
right.
Probably 3 hours.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah, that ain't far.
'Cause I'm on the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
3 hours seems a long way to me.
We do 3 hours every couple days just to hang out.
Hey, Arco, you're only around the corner, just a few hours away, right?
Oh yeah. Hey, it looks like it's cold in Texas right now. I can see your breath, bro.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. I got the propane heater going behind me. I think it's about 45, maybe touching 50.
Yeah, it's like 50 here too. Below.
Below zero.
No, it's actually. I was really blown away today. I went outside and it was sunny, and I mean it was beautiful today, and it's nice and cool out right now. It's not even that cold. It's 22 degrees right now, but this morning it was like 40 degrees outside. I was like, wow, it was like summertime, you know.
It's going to touch 70 early in the week, but the long range shows it like getting another Arctic blast down here right when I go to get in the Model A to drive up to Tulsa. So, no, I can't do this year after year. The arthritis and everything, it's getting to me. I can't. The cold hurts. But, hey, I got a roadster story in the cold. Maybe that's why the cold hurts me now. My hair, and there's a couple ladies that will testify to this today. In the late 90s, I went to a car show in Ocean City, Maryland, and it was sleet and snow the first part of May. I drove the T-Bucket, and when I got to Ocean City, my hair was literally frozen straight back with ice in it. And it took me a day to thaw out, and I couldn't enjoy the show because it was miserable. And then I had to drive home, and when I drove home, it was nice.
Well, it's 52 here in Georgia, and it was 78 today. So
Show off.
I struggle with all of you saying because of the metric system, right? I'm stuck in meters and millimeters.
No,
I mean,
that's
how
okay.
do you guys feel about millimeters?
Every true-blooded American knows there's 28 grams in an ounce and 2.2 pounds to a kilo.
I don't know anything about that. None of that. You're
How
on
many
your own.
millimeters to 3/8?
Brian, what's the going rate right now? Pounds per dollar.
I don't know. It's about level, I think.
I know because I've got a friend that I used to work with who was from that side of the pond, and he always said that his basic rule of thumb was 1 pound, $2, and that's.
I don't think it's like that now. I think it's more level now. I think it's pretty level. I don't think there's a lot in it.
No, you're looking for.
Hi, Marker. I've lost them all now. Don't know why.
I remember when it was like that. I used to buy parts. You know what I mean? I had a 46 GMC truck, and I found a place, and they had everything, all the little knobs and dials, and I was buying loads of it, and it was like half price.
Yeah, if you watch the fellow out of I think he's out of Australia, Curtis at Cutting Edge Engineering, and he refers to metric or the banana system. So he lets you know what he thinks of the English standard or the SAE setup. But
Hey, do you ever run into Wentworth over there?
I was just going to ask if he doesn't know anything about Whitworth.
Whitworth, yeah.
Is there a lot of it over there? No.
I'm slowly learning it because as I grew up, it just turned into metric. But obviously, all the cars around me had AF, American Fine, Whitworth, pipe threads, cycle threads, and I'm slowly learning them. But it's the measurements when you go 1 inch and 4/8, and I see people looking at the tape. It looks really complicated to me.
So, what's American Fine? Because we have fine and coarse thread, but
yeah,
what does American Fine mean? Does it mean something different?
Is it not just little fine thread?
Okay.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Coarse thread also.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But a lot of the British stuff, especially the Jaguars, everything is 1/4 28.
That's fine thread, yeah.
I
There's
mean,
some 5/16 fine thread in there. Very, very few areas had a coarse thread on the XKEs.
Fine thread's a lot better for clamping. Holds clamping force better. Well, your chassis stuff should always be fine.
Plus, most of the stuff array on the big tractors, big trucks is fine thread because it's got more, like you said, there's more available torque.
Right.
Surface area for it to.
Right.
I had to go to the guy that had the stuff for the Cadillac here. I went to pick him up. Man, I'll give a shout out if Lewis doesn't mind. Larry Larson's Cadillac Parts or whatever he's calling himself in Mount Pleasant, Texas. This guy is apparently the Cadillac guru for the United States, and his place is badass. Arco, I should have gotten some pictures for you. You can see it from the highway, and he's got a nice display that you can see from the highway. So I'm there, and the one thing that I did notice he had one of them roach coach looking Citrons with the weird looking headlights that runs around on hydraulics. It's like, the factory hydraulic lowrider.
Mm-hmm. Those are rare now, aren't they? The Citrons?
I thought they were rare the first time I saw one in the 80s. That was 40 years ago when I first saw one.
What part of Texas are you in?
It's called Picton. I'm 100 miles from Dallas, 100 miles from Texarkana.
I used to work for a fella out of Strawn. You know where that's at?
No clue.
Strawn is about an hour west of Fort Worth on 20 before you get to Abilene.
Well, I know that area. That's probably 4 hours from me.
Yeah, the motor I've got for my convertible Cyclone I bought from what is it, CTC Auto Wreckers or CTC Auto something in Denton, Texas, just north of Dallas.
I know Denton, Texas. Yes.
what is it? CTC Auto Ranch. That's it. CTC Auto Ranch.
I'll have to
got a
check
lot of
them
things.
out.
Say again?
I'll have to go check them out.
Yeah, they've got
Slowly
a pretty.
becoming accepted down here. Not only accepted, but respected. I think what it is people around here are seeing that there's other people throughout the United States that are sending me work. So I must be worth something.
Oh yeah. Yep. You're always worth something, Paul.
Yeah, it's getting other people to realize it. I know it. But then when I act like that, it sounds arrogant and conceited. And hey, it's true. I am.
You gotta
Nothing
start
wrong
your
with
YouTube
knowing
channel.
your own worth.
You gotta start your YouTube channel.
I've been trying to get him to do that for years. He'd have a bazillion followers, man.
Mm-hmm. Just let the camera roll. You ain't gotta edit.
Yep. Then he could retire, send me money, and I'll go work for him.
Well,
Right.
then, Arco, you come down here, retire in the South, say what you want about it, but, hey, it's warmer. So come on down. You run the camera. I'll do the work. And when the arthritis acts up too much, we'll just sit around and joke about it.
Nope. You're not going to get me in a couple parts of Texas, but I'll go visit you, and that's about it. The last time I was in Texas and Arizona, I was in a shootout. Texas, I don't want to talk about it.
Get close enough to the border of Louisiana. You can just do exactly what Bonnie and Clyde did. Go straight down 11. Don't stop at the bar that they stopped at, though. That's where they made their mistake.
Yeah, I'm with my old man in Seligman, Arizona, and they got in a shootout in the bar. My dad and this other guy, and I was like, oh my gosh. And everybody in the bar stopped, and I'm standing there. I'm a young guy. I'm like 17, I guess, 18, something like that. I'm maybe a little bit older. And I'm like, holy crap, fighting these dudes and whatever. We all kind of just stopped. And this old man says to my tattoo artist, he looks at him. We called him Mexican Chris. We said, he tells him, he's like, you got a gun too? And he's like, no, I got a knife. I'll just stab you to death. Oh my God. So before the fight breaks out again, we were like, we got to go, man. And we pretty much just hauled ass, took off, got out of there. It was bad.
Your dad started it, huh?
Oh yeah. Like usual.
How you coming on finding your pieces you need for your RV there, Lewis?
I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to sit down to even look. To be honest.
Well, like I said, one of those two links I sent you, I'm sure will have something that should hook you right up because they, like I said, they both do a lot of exactly what you're looking for. So
yeah, I got them saved. Believe me, I'm gonna check it out as soon as the weather breaks a little bit.
they might even have your aluminum wheels that you were looking for.
That'd be
You
nice.
put Alcoas on that thing?
Yeah.
Get them sponsored for your YouTube channel, bro. Be like, sponsor them for my schoolie, and I'll take them all over the world, man. Hey, put some floaties on that thing. We'll go to England and visit Brian.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't have the subscribers like you do. I mean, you can call and get anything. I mean, I got a bag.
I was surprised when I got 100 subscribers, bro. Yeah. To be honest though, I'm blessed, man. It's like, it's awesome,
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody's support on the channel, and it blew me away because when my channel did take off, I started that. I think I was telling Brian this the other day, but I started my YouTube channel as a survival channel because in California, I taught survival classes and stuff. So before it was all like on TV and all that crap, before it was all famous crap,
Yeah.
And so I started my YouTube channel as that. And then we started doing a couple hot rod things on my channel and it started bumping up. And I was like, well, people want to see that. That's kind of cool, And then we started doing some fabrication and the numbers went up a little bit more. And then when we started building Rogue, I started doing the hand fabrication stuff. And I think Heidi said it was like 15,000 subscribers in 28 days. It just went, just took off,
Well, you do great work, man. I mean,
thank you.
Your output is very pleasing. You know what I mean? It's not like some of these guys that just rub you the wrong way. Your stuff is straightforward and pleasing. Yep.
Thank you. I try to do it where I show people, you can do this in your garage with hand tools. You don't need a $100,000 big presses and whatever to make parts. You know, you can do it in the garage. I mean, look what Brian's doing. He's bare bones, and that to me is a builder. And I've always said, I think I was actually telling Brian this the other day too, is like when you see a guy come into a shop and he's got a ginormous Snap-on toolbox with, or maybe, Matco tools with, $300,000 in tools, I would hire the guy that walked in with a carry around little hand toolbox, because that's the guy that knows what he's doing, not the guy with the big toolboxes. And more power to you guys, if you want to own the big money tools, whatever, but not me. I'm the cheapskate, man.
I hear you. Here you go, Arco. Hey, see how your people do you?
Yeah, I gotta get Heidi back in the shop filming again, because I liked it when she would be filming and I didn't have to film and whatever, because you know what I mean, Brian? Because like when you're filming, sometimes it takes longer to do one cut when you're filming something, or make one piece of metal or whatever. It takes you longer. If you would just have somebody filming you, it could take 5 minutes,
I'd be swearing at them all the time, though. If I had someone following, especially having my missus follow me around, that closely. When I'm filming, I just move it around. I don't think about it too much. I mean, it's all about editing, really. The way I'm doing it, it's you sort of pick it up in the box, if you know what I mean. Bit like the car, it's just making it up as I go along. I think it's good though. It's refreshing to build like that. Don't have too firm a plan, but know what the end product's going to be like.
As like a, because Heidi always says it's like an artist or whatever, but as like an artist, to me, your best inspirations and stuff, when they come to you, you got to strike the iron when it's hot. You got to get out there and do it right then and there. If you have an idea when you're in the shop and you're working, that's when some of the stuff it just starts flowing, like everything's just going the way it goes, But there's been other times too where I'll be working in my shop and I don't want to be bothered, and somebody will knock on the door and I'm throwing tools and breaking stuff and cussing and screaming, and because I want to get something done. I got an idea and I want to make it happen, and it's hard. Yeah. So eventually I'll be able to do my own cars and lock the door and not let nobody in my damn shop.
Yeah. I didn't realize that like building cars was art, really. I didn't really, and I didn't see it as an artistic form, but now I can't look at any car. I'm looking at the lines, I'm looking at the shapes of it, and I see it in a slightly different way. And when I'm building it, I can see the shape I want. It's I think that's what it's about, being pleasing to the eye, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's aesthetics. Do you guys use the what's it called? The golden ratio. Have you heard of the golden ratio?
No.
Golden ratios is 1 to 1.6. So you got 1 and you got 1.6. And they reckon like your arm there's the 1, there's the 1.6, and it's all in nature and that. And I put it into my cars as well, because it's pleasing for us to see the golden ratio. Have a look at it.
I've never heard of that.
Have a look at it.
Yeah.
It'll take you down a wormhole. It will take you down a wormhole. It's all mathematics and all of that stuff, but you see plants when they have all the shapes and all of that. That's all. They're all following that equation. It's really odd.
Arco, it's kind of like in photography. You have the rule of thirds, where you want to have things in thirds to be aesthetically pleasing. The same thing. It's just a ratio for proportion.
Exactly, proportion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when you're building a car, more than anything, proportion is it's a number. You can put big wheels, small wheels, but if the proportions are wrong, you've got to get that wheelbase right. And I'm fighting with it at the moment because I need more, but I've got to keep it tucked in, so it's squeezing me up. But if you see a lot of guys build and they put the grill shell in front of the axle and all of this, and it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, I've seen like that was the biggest struggle on my Roadster when I took that thing out of the river and started putting it together, and I was like, oh man, I told Heidi, I'm like, I'm gonna build a Roadster, and I started building it, and that's where I got really frustrated. The grill was I think it was like way in front of the axle, and it just looked really stupid. I'm like, no, it's got to go behind, you know.
Yeah, you
And
get them behind.
yeah, so I was like, how the hell am I going to do that, you know? And so I actually bumped the body back enough where it was pleasing, where I liked it, and then I cut all the cross members out, moved the whole motor and everything back, and then rebuilt the cross member. And then on the front part, I put some more bracing and whatever. One of them was actually a camshaft, you know, across the front. But hey, what's that noise, Lewis? There's like some crazy echoing noise going on in here.
Is that Paul?
It might
Paul. Hold on. Let's see.
It's scurrying around.
Yeah, it's got to be Paul.
All right, how's that?
Yeah, it's not doing it now.
Yep, Paul.
Hey, you got a phone on or something, Paul? He muted you.
Yeah. Hold on, mute him.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Paul.
I said, I'm sorry, I started working again, but I was listening to you all. So Arco, you say that Brian's giving you some inspiration. You know, Rogue has been 5 years now.
Oh, come on. You guys are killing me. I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell all these other jackasses.
Hold on. Before you say a word, I can honestly say you and I did start at the same time.
Yeah,
buddy.
where's your card? There it is. There you go.
Okay, you and I started at the same time.
Yep, come on. You know how it is. You got to make money to pay your bills before you can work on your personal stuff. So your projects always get shoved to the side, you know. And like right now, Paul's working on that Cadillac behind him so he could pay his bills and work on his personal stuff and whatever.
The money from the Cadillac jobs was going to pay for my weekend of almost no responsibilities in Tulsa. Anybody and everybody needs to get to Tulsa. Arco, I'd say get on a plane, but I know that won't happen.
Oh man, no way! You're not getting me on no damn plane. I'd love to go to that.
So where's Heidi? What do I got to do to get Heidi to give you some Tylenol PM? Put you in the car and you wake up in Tulsa.
I was gonna say, if you want to get me on a plane, you're gonna have to give me like some Valiums or something.
No, we just get you in the car. We just some Tylenol PM. You go to sleep. You wake up in Tulsa.
Yep, there you go.
I'd love to go to that. I wonder how far Tulsa is from me, anyways.
From you to Tulsa, half the distance of what you did from you to Vegas.
Yeah. At least.
And you were in Vegas in like 15 hours?
Yeah, it was I think it was something like that. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, so
you did 15 hours coming here, didn't you?
Yeah, oh that's right. It was 15 hours going to you, it was 32 hours going to Vegas. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
so
I was just thinking
if you're 16 hours to him, I know I'm closer now than I was before.
Yeah.
I think it was 20 hours before, so you're probably 15 hours now.
Yeah, but you'll jump in a car and drive 40 hours straight through with cigarettes and Coke. Let me say Coca-Cola.
There you go. Thank you for clarifying that.
Hey, I had to say something about that. So we're in the shop for 2 days, and I keep seeing Paul with Coca-Cola. I'm like, where's the Coca-Cola? He had a hid in the other refrigerator in another room. He was the only one that had them. I was like, where's the Coke at? I've never seen a Coke in here. That's all right. Okay, that's
I had permission to use the back refrigerator. I stocked it up.
That's his gasoline, so we couldn't mess with his gas.
When I was, it was one of the builds, and it was out west with Wrenching for the Future. One of those builds, they were like, "Where's Paul?" Come to find out, I went to the Dollar General to get another 12-pack of Coke. I ran out of Coke. I needed to go.
Gotta go.
So Midnight Customs, Brandon was just saying, how did everybody get into cars and what are they, what they're doing now or whatever. But we were actually just talking about that right at the beginning of the show, Brandon. What's up, Coach?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. Good to see you. I think Brian went to bed.
Where'd he go?
What time is it? Oh, it's 9 o'clock my time.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. for him.
Well, I was going to ask because he's like 6 hours ahead of us.
Cup of tea. It's 3 in the morning there.
Mm.
Yeah, 9
Three.
here is 3 in the morning there.
Cup of tea would do it though. Do you boys drink tea? Does anyone drink tea in America?
Yep.
I do.
Yes, sir.
What, a
Tea
little
with
bag?
cream.
Yeah.
Green tea.
Little
This is
bag.
green tea.
Green tea.
I just get the stuff at the
Green-
gas station, but, whatever that is.
I like green tea. I like Earl Grey, black. I like
Yeah.
tea. I like coffee too. So it's
I drink probably 20 cups of tea in a day.
Wow.
There's some stuff over in England that I had years ago. It was called Happy Monk. Happy Monk tea. I had one glass of Happy Monk tea, and oh my God, there's some happy monks over in England.
That's funny. So everybody in the chat
Yeah, I'm
room,
gonna start wrapping things up because I got the spaghetti and linguine all over the place here. This is a badass wire kit. That's the vintage cloth covering.
Who makes
So,
that?
I got this kit through Speedway, but I also got some products from Summit, and I got some products from Ron Francis. And I'll share with you later, Arco, how this is all being done. It's pretty incredible how I've designed this in my head. So what exposed wiring that you see I'm doing with all the vintage stuff, and what's not exposed up under the dash with a series of relays will be with standard modern day wiring. But basically going for the 6 to 12 volt conversion, and retaining the original ignition switch, retaining the everything is going to be retained as the original, the light switch, all that stuff. So we don't want to take something that's 80 years old, that's seen 6 volts its whole life, and all of a sudden put a load against it of some halogen and seal beams.
Yeah.
So the headlights get relays. The brake light switch will be on a relay. Everything gets, the load goes through the relay, all these individual relays, but it retains all its original looks and features.
That
Right
car's
down to the heater defrost system that ends up going, or that ends up staying 6 volts through a series of reducers.
Yeah.
Along with 2 gauges. The gas gauge and the temperature gauge remain 6 volts through 2 separate reducers.
now that would be
Very similar to the reducer that's used on a Ford Mustang gauges. It would probably work on the Ford Mustang.
Now, Paul, that would be an incredible video for people. They would love to see that.
Well, send the film crew down and have them set up behind me.
Just listen. Just put your phone on a tripod and let it run. At the end of the night, send it up.
Who do I send it to?
Send it to me. I'll get it up for you.
Oh, all right. I'll send you. I'll just set, because I got all the cameras from the build off up there in those bags. I can set the cameras on tripod, do the same thing to you that I did before, and just take the SD card out and send it to you.
That's what. Yep.
Lewis, can I send you all of mine as well?
No.
I think you just got a job, Lewis.
Yeah. Right. Hey, for a small fee, I can do anything.
Hell yeah. That'd work right there.
I just want a small fee for giving you the footage. Here's the footage. Do with it as you want. Give me a kickback. Couple T-shirts.
There you go. We got you.
Some stickers. The VIP vouching that could happen at an event. Hey, yeah, let me in. I know that guy.
And it cracks me up because Lewis, he's so humble. He'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have somebody on the channel this week," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. Who is it?" It'll be somebody like Gene Winfield or Joe
Chris
Martin.
Walker.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Okay, Arco, here's another incentive for you and everybody else to come to Tulsa. Chris Walker is coming to Tulsa.
Oh, that's
Chris
my neighbor,
Walker's come to Tulsa with 6 of his builds or 8 of his builds.
Wow.
Wow.
That's gonna be wild. Hey, Brian, have you seen Chris Walker's cars?
No.
Man. Hey, do you have a picture of Hal Camino, Lewis?
Let's see.
That car is radical. The guy took a 59 El Camino. He's a good friend of ours. He's right here in Minnesota. But he took a 59 El Camino and just went nuts on this thing. Absolutely radical. And it was funny because when we first seen that car, I was like, oh, goo, goo, gaga, just flipping out. And Heidi was like, I hate that thing. I hate that car. But she had to look at it. And then pretty soon, now she's like,
well, you couldn't not look at it. I mean,
right?
It was built in such a fashion, no matter what, you were going to look at it.
And did he build it out of a El Camino, or is it a 4-door 59 Chevy?
I think both.
I believe it was an El Camino.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was half El Camino, and I forget what he said the other thing was.
That car's radical, though, man.
You know what his channel is?
What's that?
You know what his YouTube channel is?
ITW Hot Rods.
But somewhere there's a video of Chris Walker in the other car, or one of his other cars, when he was on the Rat Rod tour. And it's me, Josh Ellsworth, and Chris Walker all running together down the highway at 60, 65 miles an hour. It's a badass picture. And because I lived it, I can close my eyes and relive it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that car's
actually the El Camino roof.
So this
the work
one,
that went into this thing, though, man.
That's an early picture of it because it's still missing the front fender.
yeah, it wasn't done yet.
And that's when I liked the car the most. It wasn't even finished yet. He didn't have the fender on the front.
Yeah, and that's funny.
I think
because
it has one fender on it.
Oh, it's got the front.
That one it has. No, that one it has both fenders off still. There's another videos or video of it, and it only has one fender.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
Look at the new one he's building up there at the top, Lewis. That 57 Chevy. See that thing?
Oh yeah.
I got to see that in person in his shop. Took a bunch of video of it. That thing's radical.
He's been on that one now, just as long as you and I have been on these.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, that car's tough right there.
Yeah. His wife's Heather, right?
No, it's Chris and Robin.
Chris, yeah.
The back of this car, though, was super cool. When you look up underneath the car, he took a 57 Chevy hood, flipped it upside down, and that's the roll pan underneath the car is a upside down 57 hood with the rocket thing. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, he's pretty tough.
Man's amazing. You know, I don't want to get into it, but I mean, because most of you know the story already, but I got a lot of respect for Chris Walker. A lot. Over the years and watching what he has done, like in the last 15 years, it's just amazing.
And he's super, super quiet, super shy, very humble.
Oh my God, he is so shy, humble, reserved, laid back.
Yeah, I met him a couple years back at SEMA. He had that car at SEMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there in 2019.
Was it 19? Yeah.
When Arco and I were out there as well. I haven't been back since then.
Yeah, it was one of those cars that stuck out that you had to stop and look at it.
Oh yeah.
He had a very good display spot right there on the main aisle too.
Yeah, on the
You
road.
had to
Yeah.
walk past his car.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap things up here with all this spaghetti going on.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, Paul.
All right,
Be safe.
talk to you later, Arco.
All right, love you,
Thanks,
brother.
guys.
Take care,
All right,
Paul.
later. So Midnight Custom, we're gonna get him on. You said, Arco?
Yeah, I want to get him on here, and then also Vino Rat Rod wants to come on one of these nights too. So
Okay, great. Yeah, send them all a link, and we'll get them on.
Mill Creek. He says,
I
"Hello,
think
gentlemen," and Arco.
I think I'm going to leave you, boys. I think I'm going to leave you because it's like late and
Crashing.
Go get some
it's-
sleep.
yeah. But thanks for having me, boys. I'll see you on the highway.
Hey, listen. Any of my guests that come on, I tell them you're family now, so you can come on anytime you want to hang out with us, just to chat, whatever.
Thanks, dude. Now I know what you're doing. I didn't know what it was about. You know, I've never did a podcast or anything before. The
Right.
last time I did anything like this, if you get caught for speeding here, they put you on a course where you're in a room with loads of other guys, and there's a bloke saying you shouldn't go fast.
You should go fast. Go real fast.
Yeah.
Hey, you could also you could put a deal in your lives or whatever on your channel, and share this on your channel also.
Yeah,
That way
yeah, man.
it's helping all of us out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No, I will. I'm gonna talk about it. And yeah, no, good one. Thanks a lot, boys.
All right, appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right.
Right.
Take care.
Hey, Brian, hold on.
See you,
I got
boys.
one thing, Brian. For you to go fast, I think you need like 4 more cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I don't
I
know
like-
if everybody's running the same thing. I guess you could be fast. you might need a little more cylinders than that.
I always liked V8s as
Yeah.
a nipper. I wanted a V8, obviously, and I had a few V8s, but I prefer a 6 now, or a straight 8. A straight 8 would be
8,
nice.
yeah.
We don't get them.
I have a straight 8 that I can't wait to put in a car. We have
Well,
a
you
car
keep-
that we put it in, so
You keep making the cars so skinny. You need a straight 8. I don't think you could put anything else in there.
Yeah, but they look good. The race cars with the
No
long
coyotes
eights
for
on
you.
Yeah.
So when you say you like a 6, is that a V6 or an inline 6?
inline.
yeah.
I'd like to get my hands on a Carlton, and if I could get a Carlton and get it over here and then make it like the Lotus Carlton, and then there's a Chevy inline 6 they put in the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that and then put a 6-speed, a T56 6-speed in it. That would be fun. But I like that Lotus Carlton.
Yeah.
I like the looks of
Yeah.
it.
They're not around here. There's none.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You can get 20s cars more than you can get cars like the Colton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, and where I would love to have a real deal old school, what they call old school style mini. And
Yeah.
you know, and hell, I'm 6'2", so
Oh, you're flying a mini. I read loads of minis because there was loads around, little 1275s. And they're
well,
fun.
growing up in a small town in Georgia, believe it or not, one of my friends, her dad had a Cooper, you know, a little Cooper S, and she's like, I don't want that car. And I'm like, I'll take it. But they ended up getting rid of it. She ended up with a black 68 Camaro that I think she still has to this day.
I think I prefer the Camaro all day long. If any of you have ever driven a mini in your life, you will know what it's like. I drove one about 10 years ago, and it was like, oh, this is horrible because it's a transverse engine in front of you, and you know, I mean, they're not nice. They're not nice.
Like I said, I've seen a couple different guys where they swap, where they do some of the work and they pull it out and put a boost engine and some other stuff. But again,
Yeah,
you got all that torque steer with that, with that.
I don't like front wheel drive. I don't like front wheel drive at all. I've got a Citroen from 1924, and it's rear wheel drive. And Citroen made rear wheel drive until 29, and then they only ever made front wheel drive cars after that.
Huh.
And I'm putting a stove bolt engine in it. You know, the old Chevy stove bolt.
Yeah, 235.
Yeah, it's a 216. This is.
Yeah. Yep.
They had a couple of different displacements on those from the originals.
I like them because they tick over slow. You know, you can get them down to about 600 revs.
And plus, they make good torque too. So the inline sixes do.
Yeah. Right, boys. I'm on that note. I'm going to get on. I'll see you.
All right.
See you next time.
Take care.
Take care. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
That's cool talking to somebody from a different country. You know what I mean? To get their feel on the automotive industry.
You're in a different country. What are you talking about?
You're the one up in the snow capital.
I guess I am in a different country because I'm in Canada on the border. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm a Canadian now.
It's all right. One day we'll all be the same. Don't worry.
Yep.
Hey, Lewis, have you ever seen how much snow Buffalo gets?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they get hammered. So we're in the snow belt. So the snow comes from Cleveland and it comes from the Great Lakes. It comes from Arcos and it cuts across and comes past Cleveland and it goes straight up to Buffalo. Yep, that's the snow belt.
And you're close to New York, right? Like,
yeah, we're about 4 hours from Buffalo, 3 hours.
Because
just low
Terry,
enough.
How far is Terry from you? 4 hours?
5.
Okay.
Yep.
What's funny is where Terry is from was about 30 miles from where I was living in South Carolina, with him being from Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, it being on this show, people were from all over the place, and we became such good friends, man. I just wish we could all meet up. You know what I mean?
It'd be so fun.
Yep.
You got Sensei Ray over there being quiet.
Yeah. Well, listen, right now Terry's only, without traffic, 45 minutes from me.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's in what, Jersey?
He's on the other side of the bridge.
He's in Jersey.
He's up in
he's in New York, but just close to Jersey.
Just above the Bronx. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the border of Jersey. Yeah,
I remember seeing some stuff he had posted, and it had like a Jersey address on it, so I figured that's why he was there. But
yeah, he's just all over the place.
So is the Bronx? Is that a bad neighborhood or what?
South Bronx is, yeah, always has been. South Bronx has always been a tough place.
Yeah, it's horrible from where I moved. I lived in I was born and raised in Stockton, California.
Yeah. We all know about Stockton.
Yeah. And so Filbert Arms or Filbert Street, that's where I was pretty much raised right there. So, and of course, Stockton's the worst city in the United States, and then the worst part of Stockton would be Filbert Street. So that's where I was raised.
Right.
It was never a dull moment, man.
I bet.
What are the 5 boroughs, Ray?
You got Kings, Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Manhattan.
Huh.
I know anytime they would try to dispatch me in a truck, I would tell them,
no,
because I've driven New York State, all over the state.
Yeah.
But I said I will not go into the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, I got a friend who's in PA. He's from here, but now he's in PA. He's a trucker, and they'll have a run out where I am on Long Island, way out east. And no, will take it. I'm not going to New York. He used to deliver one of his jobs. He was delivering ice cream and dairy products. Now he does hazmat gases and stuff. And he would always take it because he knew to do that run, you just got to come through the city on the major highway and just go due east. You're not getting off. You're not going into the neighborhoods. And he knew it because he lived here. So he would take the run, get the extra pay. And his friends said, why the hell are you doing that? He goes, because I know it's not as bad as you think it is. Now, if you had to go into Queens or into one of the boroughs, yeah, it's tough because it's all city and it's, tighter streets and it's doable, but it's challenging.
So
Like I was telling you, Ray, I've got a friend that I met in South Carolina, and he was from Long Island, and eventually he's back up there, and that's what he does is he works for a company, and they do olive oil. So that's what he runs all through the city. Of course, again, he knows where he's going. He knows what the routes he takes. He's got a day cab and I think he said a 48 or 53 foot truck, trailer. But again, he knows where he's going. He's from New York originally. So he's like, it's nothing to me. I was like, well, good for you, not for me.
Well, with his load, if he gets stuck, you just got to crack a bottle and grease up the truck. Just slide right through all that olive oil.
I mean, just yesterday, I caught it on my camera. I had an oil truck come down. I'm on a dead end. And the guy, first, he backed down the block. It ends up he was going to deliver oil to me, and then for some reason he was trying to get out, trying to do a 3-point turn. He ended up doing like a 900-point turn, and then he pulled out, and then he pulled down and he was having trouble again. And I told my wife, I said, there's no cars on the block. Any truck driver worth it. I said, I could get in that oil truck and back it out of this block, and I'm not even a pro. I said, that guy must be new. And it just so happens over the summer, I had some people living upstairs, and the oil truck driver hit the guy's car, did some damage to his car. So I don't know if it's the same guy or not, but they're not all truck drivers are not created equally, apparently.
Well, there's any more, Ray, and Lewis will verify, there's too many of them that swear and live and breathe by the GPS. And
well, that's a problem.
You've got to have that trucker sense to go, it says turn left, but no, it's you've got to have this as well as the GPS, because I try not to stick the nose of that truck where I can't get it out of if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I got lost in New York one time. I was hauling cars to Unique Whips or Unique Autosports, and they're in Long Island. And I ended up getting on the freeway where I wasn't allowed.
Right. I know the road you were on without even saying it. I know where you were.
Yeah, the bridges were too low, like the overpass.
11 foot, 10 foot, yeah.
And so I had to get off, man. I got off I don't know where I got off, man, but I was down in like Manhattan or Brooklyn. I was in Brooklyn somewhere, I think.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And it was getting dark, so I called the Wi-Fi.
They were probably scared of you.
I don't know. I was like, hey, if I come up missing, I'm somewhere in the Bronx.
Right.
Lewis, don't feel bad. My worst car delivery was in Chicago, going to who's the guy that used to do all the tours? He's got a I cannot remember the name of that dealership, but it was one of those that they're like, go to the next light, turn right when you get there, and it's a 5-point intersection. And I'm like, really? I got I'm in an FLD with a 53-foot trailer behind me, and I'm going, yeah, I might make that second one, but I ain't going to make that first one, and I don't even know if that's the right one. And I turned the corner. As soon as I straighten out the truck, I'm looking at an L 13.5. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Why don't they put the signs before you make that turn? Like the Golden, what is it? Golden State Freeway? What do you call it?
The Parkway. Golden State.
So me and Tyler was in his bus. So we turned to get on the freeway, and the sign is down the on ramp, way down. Right. And it says no trucks or buses. I'm already down I can't back up.
Signage is a big problem.
Yeah,
it really is.
We ended up getting off. We got off in Newark, and it was getting dark.
Yeah,
and I'm like, listen, we gotta get out of here, because when you see bars on doors and liquor stores, it's a bad neighborhood.
Yeah,
right.
It was Perillo Saab. That's where I was going to, in downtown Chicago. And I finally, after about an hour and a half of, jug handling corners and turns and people backing up. And I mean, the people in Chicago were pretty cool about letting me in and out there. But I got those cars delivered, and I called them and I said, don't you ever send me back to Perillo Saab again, because I ain't going.
So, Lois, this is an aside. I got to tell you that little short you put up about when you got the hammers from Brian.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if you're using ChatGPT, if you're using if you're using AI, but it's funny because at the end when you said, "Yeah, my man Brian," it shows the text on the screen. So you say "my man Brian," and the next, instead of what you said was Maco Man Brian, but the words said Mexico Brian.
Oh yeah.
Mexico Man instead of Maco Man. So now Brian is officially Mexico Man.
Hey.
Wait.
You never know. Everybody has some Mexicans in his family.
He does now.
He looks quite Mexican.
Mexico Man.
Yeah. I had to
I
go
guess-
back and look at it.
I guess we're related, Brian.
I said it's okay. It won't be the first time.
Yeah.
Well,
Where's
I
Sick
told-
Week?
Say again.
Sick Week. Where's that at?
Florida.
We're in Gainesville. You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in Gainesville at KSR Performance.
Keith.
Nice.
No, Kevin. It's Keith. KSR's Kevin.
So
Kevin Smith, yeah.
So they're drag racing, right?
Well,
Drag
right now
drive.
it's a drag and drive, and right now the Kevin KSR Performance is the open house, and pretty much they just do hanging out here, working on cars and doing burnouts in the street.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So all that smoke was just Kevin taking his burnout car to just burning out on the road right in front of the shop.
What kind of car was that? A G6 or G8?
That was 8-cylinder. What that car was that? LS, like an SC 400 or something like that.
Okay.
A Lexus.
Lexus, yeah.
Now down south, they're doing
stay in the light.
they're doing a lot of European LS swaps, huh? Down there in Florida.
Yeah. I can go get a. He probably parked it. I can go get a video of it. I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. So we're at a shop. Let me flip the camera around. I can show you what's going on.
So it's a Lexus with a LS swap.
Yeah.
So it's an Lexus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to go on the plate. Tell them to put that on
There
his
we go.
plate.
All right, here we go. I'm walking over here.
Don't get mugged.
Nice shop.
No, there's enough people here. We're fine.
Nice shop space though.
Yeah, there's a shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's still smoking. There's still smoke coming out of the. You can't see. Hold on. Let me see if I got a flashlight.
Oh, I can see smoke. Yeah.
Burnout smoke.
Okay.
You see the smoke?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What's
Take a
going
look
on?
at
Holy
God.
shit.
Yeah, he does that 8 into 1.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty
See?
slick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was SC3 or 400. I don't know.
You're gonna melt his
Yeah,
right.
it doesn't matter. Same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same car. It's SC300. The only difference was the motor.
That's
At
cool.
the airport.
Yeah.
That's it. Where the antenna's supposed to go.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never seen an exhaust like that.
Yeah, and I don't know. Well, you guys didn't hear it, but it's a really unique noise.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a shop here.
Very
What's
nice.
the name of the shop?
The name is I Want to Work There.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
That's where I want to be. It's
Yeah.
too deep, too. Look at that. Jesus.
No kidding, Ray.
Yeah, man. I could do some damage in that place.
Is that a Chevelle?
Yes. 71 to 72.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
four-door.
yeah. And you might recognize the guy. Let's see if anybody recognizes him.
losing his service inside the building, huh?
Those
Yeah, it's
are
like
power steering fluid.
no
Dude.
service
The
inside
drain
the
and power
building,
steering fluid.
and outside.
Yeah, damn metal buildings suck for phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should have a repeater in the shop.
It's hard for me to hear you guys.
Yeah, you started breaking up. I think the metal shop.
It's a nice.
Oh, the
truck.
metal. Yeah. All right. I'm back outside.
So is that
Yeah,
more of a hot rod shop?
Yeah, he built like whole chassis and stuff like that. He built with Cletus McFarlane.
Yeah.
El Camino.
Yeah, he built Mullet and other stuff. He builds race cars pretty much.
Yeah. Sweet.
I'm trying to see what should be more burnouts out here. I don't know.
Tell them to get
And the
to
whole
it. Slack it.
yeah, no, really, the whole road is just lines. It's like repaved with rubber.
Sweet.
Anyway,
So where's that at?
we're up in Gainesville, Florida.
Okay.
Yep.
Where's all the snow?
No, Florida.
You bring the motorhome, Keith? Take the motorhome with you?
Huh?
You bring the motorhome?
No, I just drove my HHR. I'm gonna save the switching cameras here, front facing. I'm gonna save the motorhome for when I go see Lewis and where is it? Ocala? Is that where you're?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
About 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think I should be able to make it there.
Yeah,
I don't know if this guy's gonna.
my folks live not too far from there, Lewis.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Down-
we're going down for Schoolie Swarm.
Oh, there we go. Oh, see that car?
Are you gonna do anything for me down there?
Burn out with the trailer. That's kind of cool. So, anyway, all right. I just wanted to jump on real quick.
All right, appreciate
Say hi.
it.
I know I didn't join last week, and this week I'm here, so
Hey,
I thought
we
it'd be something
appreciate
cool. Yeah. Oh, you want to get in too? My brother. What's up, guys?
it. Hey, brother.
That's Kevin.
What's up, Kevin?
Hey, come on. Yeah. Cameo appearance. Cameo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right, man. There you are. There he is.
yeah, be safe down there.
Yeah.
Bucky.
Oh, yeah. No problem. I'll see you guys.
Later.
See you. Bye.
Take
Take care.
See you. Bye.
How'd Arco's mug get on there? So that's the beauty about this, man. He's in Florida and he shows us this stuff. I mean, I just love this platform, you know. Have friends all over the country.
Hell yeah. Hey, you're going to that bus deal, the schoolie thing. Where's that at?
Yeah, it's in Gainesville, Florida. It's the last week of February.
You're in Ocala, Florida.
Ocala, yeah.
Keith is in Gainesville.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's just a little further down the road.
Yep.
Gainesville's just a little further, or you just keep going south and you'll get to Ocala.
Yep. So that's where we're going. We're going to hit there, and then we're going to bounce around. I'm trying to get over to Texas to see Paul. It depends on how the wife wants to put her feet in the ocean, or she wants to ride a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, Lewis, have you ever been to Don Garlett's place in Ocala?
Yes.
Oh,
that's-
man.
That's a place you can kill a couple days
Oh yeah.
in each
I would love
building.
to do that. I would absolutely love to go to that.
You see it from the freeway, and that's what gets you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah.
there it is.
Man.
I remember going to that place 20 years ago, and the same thing. They had to drag me out of there because there's so much stuff in there with the drag racing, and now he's got the other building where he's got more of the cars, and the equipment and stuff, and Smokey units. He's got a couple Smokies engines, and just, I mean, like I said, you could kill 2 or 3 days in that. Just,
Yep.
Going through all the different warehouses and all the different stuff. I mean, but I know he got a lot of flack years ago because people are like, nobody's going to come see cars and drag racing stuff like that. And he's like, if you don't save it, you know, because that's like race cars. Or, you know, if you ever talked or if you ever hear Evernham and some of those other guys, you know, these winning race cars. Okay, it's a race car. They cut it up, rebody it, retool it for next year, and off it goes.
Yep.
It's just a tool to them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Well, that's money though. That's the you know they can't or some of the cars they'll keep, and NASCAR or the sponsors will, okay, that was like a Indy winning car. Yeah, that car is going to be in a museum or something. So they'll usually buy it or buy the rights to it or whatever. But
yeah, it's a different world.
My favorite Smokey Unique story is one where the Chevelle, where they took it back to check it, and they pulled the tank out and they started dinging him on stuff, and he says, well, hell, you might as well ding me a few more times. And he started it up and drove off without the gas tank.
Yeah, because he had like, what do you have, like a 1-inch fuel line in the car or something like that?
Yeah.
he had a 1-inch fuel line that was 20 something feet long.
Right. Yeah, see, the thing with Garlitz's place is it's all about the history. It really is a museum of drag racing.
Yeah.
Because he's got the Smokey gave Garlitz the motor that run it's a 55 Chevrolet, and it won the Darlington 500, and he rebuilt it and gave it to Garlitz and said, here, this is the winning engine out of that car. And he's, you know, so it's in one of the other, because I saw it the last time I was there. And of course, that was God, probably 15 years ago that I could stop, because that's the bad part of my job is, as Lewis can tell you, we see cool stuff, but we're like, time. We ain't got, it's cool. I got to be somewhere. I can't stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm into cowboys. I love the cowboy movies and stuff. So when I go out west, I was always in the truck. I couldn't stop to see stuff. I see signs, you know, Dodge City right here, or I couldn't never stop. And then I was like, oh, I'll stop on the way back. But then on the way back, it's dark.
Yeah.
So I never really get to see what I want to see, but it's on now.
Me and Heidi are the same way.
Yep.
Me and Heidi are the same way. We like to stop and look at like the history of the Cowboys and like the museums and all the stuff with the Cowboys and whatever in the Old West, you know. And we were going to Idaho to Iron Horse Garage to drop that truck off when we were coming back. And she's like, no matter what, I want to stop at the Occidental or whatever that hotel was where Billy the Kid or whatever that crap was, you know. She was telling me this big long story about it. So we stopped in this town, and she's like, we'll have to find that tomorrow. And we stayed the night in a hotel. We get up in the morning, we take off. We're like 3 hours down the road. And she's like, son of a, and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, you ain't gonna believe this crap. And I'm like, what? She goes, so that town we stayed in last night? I go, yeah. She goes, that's where the stupid ass hotel was, man.
Oh.
She was pissed.
Yeah. That's gonna be my mission when I'm out there. I'm hitting it all.
when you come down this way, we'll have to get you to. We have it's kind of a theme park. It used to be a movie studio / theme park. It's called Old Tucson. It's on the other side of the mountain, the Tucson mountain range, and almost every Western you see, John Wayne, all that stuff was filmed out there. They had that TV show, The Young Riders.
Yeah.
In the 80s or 90s, it was filmed over there. Bits and pieces of Tombstone was over there. Almost anytime we put on a Western, we're like, look, there's the part of the mountain. There's where it's called Gates Pass, where you take there's a road that goes from the city and it goes over this pass, and then you come down, and where that pass is, that mountain, that little peak is in so many Western movies. We were watching McClintock the other day, and I said, and we were like, I can't tell the angle. I think that's Gates Pass area, and then they got a good shot. I'm like, that's it, you know.
That's sweet.
So,
yeah, but you remember the oh, come on, Dean Martin and John Wayne, where he paid the drunken sheriff and Rio Lobo or whatever it was. And they're talking, that was filmed in old Tucson Studios. And they've made a little river, shallow river, Rio Grande. And when they did a fight scene in it, they had to get on their knees so it looked like they were deeper in the water than they were.
Yeah.
And it's got some fascinating history there.
Yeah.
It's changed hands now, and I think it cost a lot more than it did when we went there.
Yeah. Well,
and,
you saw, God, I don't remember how many years ago. I think it was early 2000s or so. Maybe it was late 90s where most of it burnt down. They had to rebuild it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still wonder about that fire because the owner of that and his wife are going through a really nasty divorce. And they think that she had the fire set. They couldn't prove it.
No, it was her.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
A woman scorned.
Oh God!
She's like, "I'll fix you,"
because they had one of the biggest collections of Western clothing and memorabilia from the movies there, and it all burned up.
Man,
you know.
Yeah.
That's a trip that you said that, Lewis, because when I lived in Missouri, this guy, Charlie's Truck and Trailer is where I worked at. Charlie, him and his wife was always off. Like she was like not a weirdo or nothing, but like a little crazy, you know?
Yeah.
She would get mad at the stupidest stuff, and you're like, man, this chick's kind of a psycho, you know?
Yeah.
And after I left there, I came back to California, and my dad said that I guess she went in their house, burned their house to the ground, went over to the shop and burned him in the shop, burned the whole freaking place down. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, she's a little off, man. I was like, I used to work for that lady, bro. Like that. Oh.
Yeah, you don't know who you're messing with.
Don't mess with pissed off women because they'll burn you in your bed, literally.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm glad I'm married to the lady I am. If she's going to kill me, she's going to do it upright and standing and shoot me right in the chest.
She's gonna let you see it come.
Oh yeah. So I don't worry about that. I don't worry about her killing me in my sleep because that wouldn't make her happy because I wouldn't know anything. She'd want me standing upright in terror. And I ain't going to run because it won't do me any good to run because she can hit.
Yep.
Yeah. What's that old joke? I'll just die tired.
I was gonna say that because my wife shoots better than me, so I can't even run. She'll get me down the street.
Yeah.
Well, they say women shoot worse than guys because they start shooting like this.
Not my wife.
Yeah, not my wife.
No, not my wife.
Arco, it's a proven fact that women shoot better than men.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And it's a simple fact. If you work through all the minutia, they don't overthink it. They point and shoot. Where a guy's like, well, I got to do this and I got to do, and I got to, no, they point and shoot. And more times than not, that's a more accurate shot than trying to figure and everything. But that's a scientific fact that women on average shoot better than men.
Yeah.
We took one of our qualifying courses, and of course you got to shoot your 24 rounds, I think, 36 rounds at a man-sized target from 20 feet, 20 yards, 3, 7, and 9. Anyway, we asked our instructor, can we keep our qualifying targets and bring them home? We want to hang them up in our back porch. And my wife's grouping is like this in the whole target, all 24 rounds. Mine's 26. Mine's a little bit bigger, but it's all within the kill zone.
Yeah.
And they said, are you wanting to advertise that there's guns in his house? And Debbie grins and says, no, we want to advertise you ain't getting out alive.
There you go.
That door was locked for your protection.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I always tell people that I'll let my wife shoot them, and I'll go along and finish them off if there's anything to finish off.
Wow.
Most of the time, there won't be anything to finish off because she's too damn good.
Yeah, right.
She's going to protect me.
That's why it's good to have land and a backhoe.
Yeah.
Well, we got the backhoe now. We just only have an acre, so we'd have to go out in the woods with it. But we got a nice little portable tractor that's easy to.
Yeah.
A few bags of lime.
Hey guys, let me shut down for a second. Hold on 1 second.
Probably a good idea, Lewis.
Okay, everybody. I appreciate everybody in the chat room. We're going to sign off now, and please tell everybody that we do this every Thursday night at 9:00 Eastern time. And I really appreciate everybody that was in Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And we will see you next week.